Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Jimmy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm here with Uomo by Salvatore Ferragamo, and this is called Urban Feel. The original Uomo by Salvatore Ferragamo is a great fragrance. That is a dessert type of fragrance, which is so interesting. I think there's a lot about this fragrance line by Salvatore Ferragamo that has made it really an original scent. Not that gourmandy dessert fragrances are new, but they've done it in a great way for designers. And the bottle is really cool too. This bottle is a 3.4 ounce, 100 ml bottle that is blue and you cannot see through it. So that's a pain. But I think I got this for about 40 bucks. And if you get this at discounters like Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, they might have them there. However, I'm not saying for you to go out there and try to find it. You'll waste your time, money, and gas. If you're already there buying something or shopping, then take a gander at the fragrance section. I'm not saying you can't do that, but don't go there just looking for this. You'll never find it when it's most convenient for you. It's just easier to get a bunch of designers you have your eye on and buy them online from like Fragrance Net or Forever Lux. I'm not sponsored by anybody, just so you guys know. Just saying that's where I got mine, and it came in really good condition. So, and you might even get a tester, which is without this sort of apparatus here. It just comes with a regular sprayer, which works really well in my opinion, even in this state. Let's talk more about the presentation now that we're talking about it. So here we have a street art type of look here, very raised and texturized, very cool. On the front, it's got this classy look, and the cap is super interesting in my opinion. But the best of all of this thing is how it just ergonomically fits in my hand. The indentation makes this super easy to hold. I can use it like a weapon and defend America with a bottle of Uomo Urban Feel. It's just, for my small hands, it just fits perfectly. So I know it'll fit in your hand as well. Just a cool thing to note there. Let's talk about how it smells. This has some interesting notes, but nothing out of the ordinary. You have definitely seen these before. We have bergamot. What fragrance doesn't have bergamot? Ozonic notes, very modern. Clary sage, some greenness in there. Coffee, we'll talk about that. We have driftwood, cedar, cumin in the middle. In the base, we have ambroxan, incense, patchouli, and labdanum. Lucky for you guys, I don't know what labdanum is, but I imagine it's a very safe scent that blends very well with woods and ambroxan and patchouli to make this nice base. But you can't really pick out anything as much at all. I don't get patchouli, right? So if you were to give this to me, which is an average nose, and say, what do you smell? Do you get patchouli? No. Patchouli is a very masculine scent that doesn't smell like much of like anything else. You can always tell when you get patchouli in a scent, and this does not smell medicinal patchouli, and I don't get that. In fact, I don't really pick out much of anything, and I would say usually that's a bad thing, but in this case, it's a very well blended, crafted fragrance that a lot of people would like. It's versatile. It's for men. Especially marketed towards men. I can see that because it smells like men's shower gel in a good way. I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's fresh, and it kind of reminds me of a few fragrances, which I will draw parallels to in a second. Let's just do that right now. I think it reminds me of Parfums de Marly in a way that has this fresh, barbershoppy pepperiness, and suddenly, Leighton, what do you call it, Greenlee had this fresh power hitting right off the bat. And with this one, now that is hundreds of dollars, right? But with Uomo, we get that power, peppery barbershopness in the first 15 seconds. And that dies down, and it kind of goes into a mass appealing ambroxany. I don't get any particular woods. I don't get patchouli, and nothing kind of sharp darts up and goes down. It just has even base of sweet freshness. And by sweet, it's not as sweet as Dylan Blue, although I do get some similarities between that as well. I think Dylan Blue, it doesn't have that pepperiness. Is Dylan Blue also created by Alberto Morillas? Maybe. But this one, it kind of has this scent of freshness and mass appealing, and has some sweet incense in there. It doesn't have sweet like fruits, right? That's not what I'm getting at. So I think that kind of comes from like it being able to have some depth. It's not just fresh and citrusy and fruity. That's been done to death. But this one has a little bit of depth to it. But I think Dylan Blue is more deep than this. I think Dylan Blue has incense, but not as much. It has more than this. So I've had Dylan Blue, right? And the incense is what really kind of turned me off. For me, I'm not trying to offend you if you like Dylan Blue. I'm saying if you like Dylan Blue, you probably enjoy that deep part of it all that Bleu de Chanel has and Dylan Blue has. This one has something to really grab onto, but not too much at all. But I'm not saying it smells like Axe body spray from like a 15-year-old's Axe body spray collection. It just smells professional. It smells casual. But also, because of that staying power and the depth, you can wear this with a suit, I think. This can really make a statement. And people can smell this. I sprayed it like once or twice, and it just smells clean and also like a sharp man would wear this. You'd have to be dressed that way. I'm not saying that you can just be like a bum and put this on. You'll just be like a nice smelling bum. Right? It doesn't work. It's not a magic bottle. Okay, you gotta be dressed the part. You gotta look groomed. Then this will take you over the top. I think this will work really well. I don't think you need something that is worth hundreds of dollars. And what this is sharp and has staying power. This lasted for me like all day, like 7 hours on me. Yes, it was weaker significantly towards the end of the day, but when it first started, it was pow. And towards the middle of the day, I still smelled it. Even around me as I put it in my hair, right around here, I can still get little whiffs of it. So do I recommend it? Yes, I recommend it, especially for the price. The presentation is nice. It smells shower fresh. And if you think it just smells like everything else, you probably have a too big of a collection. So if you don't have like Coach, or if you have Coach that smells sweet, but you want that staying power with some like freshness to it, get this one. I'm not saying this is a blue fragrance. I do think the blue fragrance category is just too wide and big now. Just because it's a blue bottle doesn't make it a blue fragrance. And I think this is just a clean fragrance. That greenness is in there from the clary sage. I think the ozonic notes overshadows the bergamot, and I don't think that's a bad thing. When it dries down to this point, I get some sweet, not patchouli, I think it's more of the coffee, and I get more of the casual life in here. So I think this is kind of in here with some more power and freshness with some incense to it. So I guess if you can get casual life and Bleu de Chanel and kind of mix them together, I think you get something similar to Urban Feel. Maybe that's a good way to put it. With a little bit of that Oriental barbershop freshness for the first 15 seconds. Does that help? I think that kind of paints the picture for me. And I do think this is marketed more towards men. I'm not sure how it smelled on a girl, but it probably smelled great too. But younger men, like 25, 30, 40, even 50, this would smell pretty regal on you, in my opinion. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to me about this long-winded presentation. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.